In the whirlwind of today's fast-paced society, where the digital age has us constantly on the move, there lies an ancient philosophy that seems more relevant than ever: Confucianism. This Eastern philosophy, rooted deeply in the teachings of Confucius, offers a profound yet practical way to navigate the complexities of modern life, emphasizing ethics, personal and governmental morality, correctness of social relationships, justice, kindness, and love. At the heart of Confucian thought is the concept of rein, often translated as humaneness, benevolence, or love. This virtue is not just an abstract ideal but a practical guide to living well with others. In a world where online interactions often replace face-to-face connections, the Confucian emphasis on empathy and understanding in all relationships becomes a beacon of light guiding us towards more meaningful interactions. Confucius taught that love must manifest in different forms to accommodate the diverse relationships we encounter. The respect between friends, the loyalty of a subject to their ruler, the affection within families. Each form of love, according to Confucian tradition, enriches our lives, creating a tapestry of relationships that sustains and nurtures society as a whole. Another cornerstone of Confucianism is the principle of li, which can be understood as the proper way of doing things. Li encompasses not only rituals and social etiquette but also the moral fiber that holds society together. In the rush of modern life, where instant gratification often trumps patience and careful consideration, li reminds us of the importance of thoughtfulness in our actions and the value of living a life that generates good. The Confucian tradition also places a high value on moral intuition and humility. It teaches that understanding right from wrong is not merely an intellectual exercise but a deep, intuitive process that requires self-awareness and reflection. In a world brimming with information and endless choices, this call to look within and cultivate a moral compass is both challenging and essential. Conscientiousness, another virtue extolled by Confucian philosophy, involves being diligent and careful in one's moral life. It's about taking responsibility for our actions and their impact on others. In an era marked by environmental crises and social injustices, the Confucian call to live conscientiously invites us to consider the footprint we leave on the world and encourages us to act with integrity and purpose. Confucianism also emphasizes the importance of education, not just in terms of academic or intellectual achievement, but as a means of moral development and social harmony. It advocates for a balanced development of intellectual and practical virtues, suggesting that knowledge and action should go hand in hand. This holistic approach to education, which values both the mind and the heart, can inspire us to learn continuously and use our knowledge for the greater good. The ethical framework provided by Confucianism, with its emphasis on love, responsibility, and communal harmony, offers a compass for navigating the ethical dilemmas of a fast-paced world. It reminds us that at the core of a fulfilling life are the relationships we nurture, the respect we show to others, and the virtues we strive to embody. In bringing these ancient teachings into our modern lives, we find timeless wisdom that illuminates the path to a more ethical, compassionate, and balanced way of living. As we face the challenges of the 21st century, the Confucian approach encourages us to slow down, reflect on our values, and strive for a world where everyone can flourish. In the realm of leadership, the ancient teachings of Confucius have transcended time, offering a repository of wisdom that remains relevant today. As a master storyteller, I've explored how Confucian philosophy can be intertwined with modern leadership practices to guide teams with wisdom, ensuring the narrative is as engaging as it is enlightening. Leadership, in its essence, is not merely about strategy and management. It's about inspiring and guiding others towards a common goal. Confucius, with his deep understanding of human nature and morality, introduced concepts that can transform leadership approaches in contemporary settings. Diversity of love in leadership. Confucius taught that love must manifest differently depending on the relationship. In a team, this translates to understanding and appreciating the unique contributions of each member, fostering a sense of belonging and respect. By acknowledging the diversity of talents and personalities within a team, a leader can cultivate a harmonious and productive environment. Moral intuition and decision-making. The role of moral intuition in leadership involves making decisions that are not only effective but ethically sound. Confucius emphasized the importance of benevolence in all actions. For a leader, this means prioritizing the well-being of their team and stakeholders in their decision-making processes, ensuring that their actions reflect a deep-seated moral intuition. Li as a life-generating activity in team dynamics. Li encompasses the rituals and behaviors that promote social harmony. In a team context, establishing rituals such as regular feedback sessions, team-building activities, and transparent communication practices can generate a positive, life-affirming atmosphere that encourages collaboration and mutual respect. Moral humility in leadership. Confucius championed moral humility, urging individuals to recognize their limitations and learn from others. For leaders, this entails acknowledging that they do not have all the answers and being open to feedback and new ideas from their team. This not only fosters an environment of continuous learning but also engenders trust and respect. Conscientiousness and diligence. A key virtue in Confucianism, conscientiousness involves being diligent and careful in one's moral life. Applied to leadership, it means being thorough and responsible in planning and decision-making, ensuring that every action taken is in the best interest of the team and the broader objectives. Practical application of virtue ethics. Confucianism advocates for the practical living out of virtues. Leaders can embody this by being examples of integrity, honesty, and benevolence in their daily interactions and decisions, thereby setting a moral standard for their team to emulate. Educational aspects of leadership. Confucian thought holds education as essential for moral development. In a leadership context, this underscores the importance of mentoring and developing team members, not just in skills pertinent to their roles but also in ethical and critical thinking, preparing them to navigate complex challenges with wisdom. Balancing intellectual and practical virtues. Leaders must balance intellectual virtues, such as strategic thinking and innovation, with practical virtues like resilience and adaptability. This equilibrium ensures that teams are not only visionary in their pursuits but are also grounded and capable of implementing their ideas effectively. Navigating generalism and particularism. Confucianism explores the tension between general moral rules and the nuances of particular situations. Effective leaders recognize that while certain principles are non-negotiable, flexibility and understanding of context are essential in guiding their teams through the complexities of real-world challenges. Ethics and ontology in leadership. Finally, merging ethical discourse with ontological considerations, Confucian philosophy encourages leaders to reflect on the nature of their being and the cultivation of virtue within their teams. It's about understanding that leadership is not merely a role but a journey of moral and personal growth. In weaving these ancient yet timeless Confucian principles with the threads of modern leadership challenges, the narrative emerges not just as a guide, but as a beacon for those aspiring to lead with wisdom, integrity, and compassion. The lessons from Confucius, when applied to leadership, have the power to transform teams, fostering environments where creativity, productivity, and mutual respect flourish. In the labyrinth of modern existence, where each turn presents a new challenge and every intersection a decision to make, the ancient wisdom of Confucianism offers a beacon of light, guiding us towards personal growth and moral excellence. This philosophy, rooted in the teachings of Confucius, a revered sage from ancient China, transcends time and geography, providing strategies that are as relevant today as they were millennia ago. Our journey into the heart of Confucian wisdom begins with the understanding of love's diversity. Love, according to Confucian tradition, is not a monolith but a spectrum that encompasses various forms and expressions. From the filial piety towards one's parents to the fraternal affection among friends, each form of love carries its unique significance and moral obligations. It's akin to wearing different hats, each suited for a particular relationship, yet all made from the fabric of compassion and respect. But how does one navigate the vast sea of moral choices? Confucius posited that moral intuition plays a pivotal role. Much like a compass, intuition guides us through the moral landscape, helping us to discern right from wrong without the need for elaborate deliberation. This intuitive moral compass is calibrated through continuous learning and reflection, highlighting the importance of nurturing our inner moral sensibilities. In Confucian thought, Li stands as a testament to the life-generating activity of love. Far from being a rigid set of rituals, Li embodies the dynamic expression of love and respect in social interactions, transforming mundane exchanges into acts of moral significance. It's the oil that lubricates the machinery of society, ensuring that it runs smoothly and harmoniously. Humility and conscientiousness are virtues held in high esteem in the Confucian moral universe. Moral humility, the recognition of our own limitations and fallibility, serves as a grounding force, fostering a sense of empathy and openness towards others. Conscientiousness, on the other hand, is the diligent and careful attention we must pay to our actions, ensuring that they reflect our moral convictions. It's a reminder that the path of virtue is treaded with steady, thoughtful steps. Confucianism does not relegate virtue to the lofty realms of theory, but anchors it firmly in the practicalities of daily life. The true test of virtue lies not in abstract speculation but in our actions and interactions. This practical application of virtue ethics calls for a harmonious blending of intellectual and practical virtues, encouraging us to not only think rightly but to act rightly as well. At the heart of Confucian ethics is the concept of educational transformation. Education, in its broadest sense, is seen as essential for moral development and social harmony. It's through education that individuals cultivate virtues, shaping their character and, by extension, the character of society. This transformative power of education underscores the role of knowledge and wisdom in personal and communal growth. The Confucian ethical framework navigates the complex interplay between generalism and particularism in morality. It recognizes the need for universal principles that guide moral conduct while also acknowledging the importance of context in ethical decision-making. This balance between the universal and the particular encourages a flexible yet principled approach to morality, allowing for nuanced responses to moral dilemmas. Lastly, Confucianism marries ethics with ontology, exploring the deep connections between being and virtue. It posits that the cultivation of virtue is not merely a moral endeavor but an ontological one, shaping the very essence of our being and our relationships with others. In this view, to grow morally is to grow in our capacity to love, to connect, and to live fully. From the ancient scrolls of Confucian texts to the bustling streets of the modern world, the strategies for personal growth outlined by Confucius remain a timeless treasure. They invite us to reflect on our relationships, our actions, and our very being, urging us to strive not just for success, but for moral excellence. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us draw upon the wisdom of Confucius, finding in his teachings a source of light and a path to becoming our best selves. In the bustling canvas of life, where words flit about like butterflies, the art of communication often becomes a lost relic waiting to be rediscovered. Drawing inspiration from ancient Chinese philosophy, particularly Confucian teachings, we find a veritable treasure trove of wisdom that can transform our dialogue into meaningful connections. The essence of Confucianism, with its deep roots in morality, ethics, and social harmony, offers a guiding light in the oft murky waters of human interaction. At the heart of Confucian philosophy lies the principle of Li, traditionally translated as ritual or propriety, yet so much more profound. Li encapsulates the idea of conducting oneself in a manner that is harmoniously aligned with the natural order of the world. It's about acting with consideration and respect in all interactions, a lesson of paramount importance in today's fast-paced, often impersonal digital communication landscape. Imagine a world where every message, tweet, or call is infused with the spirit of Li, transforming each interaction into a life-generating activity that fosters love and understanding. Confucianism also emphasizes the diversity of love, recognizing that love is not a monolith but a spectrum that encompasses various forms and expressions. This notion can revolutionize our communication by encouraging us to tailor our message to the unique needs and perspectives of our audience, ensuring that our words are always delivered with empathy and care. Another cornerstone of Confucian thought is moral intuition, the belief in the inherent ability of humans to understand and practice morality. This emphasizes the importance of listening to our inner moral compass when communicating, guiding us to speak truthfully and kindly, ensuring that our words build rather than break. Moral humility and conscientiousness are virtues highly regarded in Confucianism, teaching us the importance of self-awareness and diligence in our interactions. By practicing moral humility, we acknowledge our limitations and the potential impact of our words, striving always to communicate thoughtfully and with respect for the other's viewpoint. The practical application of virtue ethics in Confucianism teaches us that living out virtues in our daily lives is not just an intellectual exercise but a practical one. This principle can be applied to communication by embodying virtues such as honesty, integrity, and kindness in every word we utter, making our dialogue a reflection of our highest ethical standards. Confucianism holds education in high esteem, viewing it as essential for moral development and social harmony. This perspective encourages us to see communication as an educational tool, a means of sharing knowledge and wisdom that can enlighten and uplift. The distinction between intellectual and practical virtues in Confucian thought reminds us that effective communication requires both understanding and action. It's not enough to know the right thing to say. We must also say it in the right way, at the right time, and for the right reasons, bridging the gap between thought and expression. In navigating the complexities of human interaction, Confucian teachings on generalism and particularism in morality, and the integration of ethics and ontology offer valuable insights. They teach us to balance universal principles of good communication with the specific needs and circumstances of our audience, crafting messages that resonate on a deeply personal level while upholding the highest ethical standards. Incorporating idioms and real-life examples, this exploration into Confucian philosophy reveals that the art of communication is not merely about transmitting information, but about creating connections that are rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and compassion. By applying these ancient teachings to our modern context, we can elevate our conversations, turning every interaction into an opportunity to foster deeper, more meaningful connections. For in the wisdom of Confucius lies the key to unlocking the true potential of our words, transforming them into bridges that connect us in profound and lasting ways. In the bustling corridors of modern life, where the cacophony of digital notifications and the relentless pursuit of success often drown out the whispers of wisdom passed down through ages, there lies a treasure trove of guidance in the ancient philosophy of Confucianism. This narrative embarks on a journey to weave the golden threads of Confucian wisdom into the fabric of contemporary existence, illuminating paths for the modern soul seeking harmony, purpose, and fulfillment. At the heart of Confucian thought lies the diversity of love, a concept that transcends the simplistic understanding of this emotion. Love, according to Confucianism, is not a monolith but a mosaic. It is the benevolence toward a stranger, the filial piety toward one's parents, the fraternal respect among siblings, and the loyalty among friends. In today's fragmented world, embracing this diversity of love could be the bridge to deeper connections and a more compassionate society. Moral intuition plays a pivotal role in navigating the complex moral landscapes of our times. Confucianism teaches that within each person lies an innate ability to discern right from wrong. This moral compass, refined through education and reflection, can guide individuals in making ethical decisions amidst the moral relativism that often pervades contemporary discourse. By tuning into our moral intuition, we can navigate life's dilemmas with a clearer sense of direction. Li, as a life-generating activity, presents a compelling perspective on the rituals of daily life. In the Confucian tradition, Li encompasses not only formal rites, but also the everyday practices that cultivate virtue and harmony. From the simple act of greeting a neighbor to the deliberate practice of mindfulness, Li infuses life with meaning and connects us to the larger tapestry of human existence. In the hustle of modern life, rediscovering the sacred in the mundane can be a source of joy and transcendence. Confucian thought places great emphasis on moral humility. In an age where the pursuit of personal success often overshadows ethical considerations, the virtue of humility reminds us of the limits of our knowledge and the value of listening to others. It is in acknowledging our fallibility that we open ourselves to growth and learning, fostering a culture of empathy and mutual respect. Conscientiousness, another key virtue in Confucianism, involves being diligent and careful in one's moral life. In a world rife with shortcuts and quick fixes, the practice of conscientiousness stands as a testament to the value of integrity and hard work. It is in the meticulous pursuit of our goals, with a steadfast commitment to ethical principles, that we find true fulfillment. The practical application of virtue ethics in day-to-day living is a hallmark of Confucian philosophy. Unlike abstract ethical theories, Confucianism is deeply concerned with the lived experience of virtues. In the relentless pace of modern life, integrating virtue ethics into our daily routines can transform mundane activities into acts of moral significance, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. Education, in the Confucian tradition, is not merely the acquisition of knowledge but the cultivation of character. In a world where information is abundant but wisdom is scarce, rekindling a passion for learning that transcends the intellectual and embraces moral and aesthetic dimensions can lead to a more harmonious and enlightened society. The tension between intellectual and practical virtues, between knowing what is right and doing what is right, is a dilemma that resonates with many today. Confucianism advocates for a balance between the two, suggesting that true wisdom lies in the harmonious integration of thought and action. In navigating life's challenges, it is this balance that can guide us toward meaningful and virtuous living. Confucian philosophy, with its rich exploration of ethics and ontology, offers timeless insights for the modern soul. In a world teeming with change and uncertainty, the ancient wisdom of Confucianism shines a light on the path to a life of harmony, purpose, and fulfillment. By weaving these insights into the fabric of our daily lives, we can navigate the complexities of the modern world with grace and wisdom, forging deeper connections with ourselves and the world around us. In the fast-paced world we inhabit, it's easy to get lost in the whirlwind of daily tasks, forgetting the essence of what it means to live a life of purpose and harmony. However, ancient wisdom, particularly from Confucian philosophy, harbors timeless insights that can guide us toward a more balanced, ethical, and fulfilling existence. Confucianism Decoded, Daily Practices for Modern Living explores how the teachings of Confucianism can be seamlessly integrated into the contemporary lifestyle, offering a beacon of light in our often chaotic world. Confucianism, with its rich tapestry of moral guidelines and ethical practices, provides a robust framework for personal development and societal harmony. At the heart of Confucian thought lies the concept of li, a principle that signifies the ritual and behavioral norms governing not just personal but also societal interactions. In today's context, li can be seen as the embodiment of respect and courtesy we extend to others, a reminder that in every interaction lies the potential to foster or fracture relationships. The diversity of love, as recognized in Confucian tradition, underscores the importance of nurturing varied relationships in our lives, be it familial bonds, friendships, or professional connections, with sincerity and depth. This multifaceted approach to love encourages us to appreciate the unique value of each relationship, enriching our lives and broadening our perspectives. Moral intuition and humility play pivotal roles in Confucianism. These virtues remind us that while it's crucial to trust our inner moral compass, we must also approach ethical dilemmas with a sense of humility and openness to learning. This blend of confidence and modesty paves the way for genuine personal growth and ethical decision-making. The emphasis on conscientiousness in Confucian philosophy is particularly relevant in today's world, where distractions abound. By being diligent and careful in our actions and decisions, we cultivate a life of integrity and purpose, ensuring that our impact on the world is positive and meaningful. Confucianism also advocates for the practical application of virtue ethics, urging us to embody virtues not just in thought but in our daily actions. This calls for a conscious effort to practice kindness, honesty, and diligence, transforming abstract ideals into concrete habits that shape a virtuous life. Education, according to Confucian thought, is not merely the acquisition of knowledge but the cultivation of moral character. This perspective invites us to view learning as a lifelong journey, one that encompasses not only intellectual growth, but also the development of virtues that guide our conduct. The distinction between intellectual and practical virtues underscores the importance of balancing thought with action. In our quest for wisdom, we must not overlook the significance of translating our insights into actions that contribute to our well-being and that of our community. Confucianism's exploration of generalism and particularism in morality offers a nuanced approach to ethical decision-making. It teaches us that while general principles can guide us, sensitivity to the specific context is crucial in determining the most ethical course of action. Finally, by integrating ethics and ontology, Confucian philosophy invites us to reflect on the nature of our being and the cultivation of virtue. This holistic approach encourages us to consider not just what we do, but who we are, fostering a life of authenticity and moral integrity. In weaving these ancient Confucian principles into the fabric of our daily lives, we unlock the door to a more balanced, ethical, and fulfilling existence. Confucianism Decoded, Daily Practices for Modern Living, serves as a guide, illuminating the path toward integrating timeless wisdom into the modern world, encouraging us to live not just with efficiency, but with meaning and virtue. In the whirlwind of modern life, where personal and professional spheres often collide and merge in unpredictable ways, the ancient wisdom of Confucian philosophy offers a beacon of light, guiding us toward harmony in both home and work environments. This narrative, inspired by the profound insights of Confucianism and crafted with the storyteller's love for emotional depth, explores how ancient Chinese philosophy can illuminate our paths to better relationships. At the heart of Confucian thought lies the concept of li, an ontological expression of love as a life-generating activity. It's not merely a set of rituals or formalities, but a profound practice of engaging with the world in a manner that nurtures life, growth, and harmony. In the context of relationships, whether at home or work, li encourages us to approach each interaction with mindfulness and care, recognizing that every word and action can either cultivate love or sow discord. Diversity of love, as recognized in the Confucian tradition, reminds us that love takes many forms and expressions. In the professional realm, this might translate to respect, empathy, and understanding toward colleagues, while in the personal sphere, it may manifest as affection, patience, and kindness to family and friends. By appreciating the multifaceted nature of love, we can better navigate the complexities of our relationships, adapting our approach to meet the unique needs of each situation and individual. Moral intuition and humility play pivotal roles in Confucianism, guiding us to rely on our inner sense of right and wrong while remaining open to learning and growth. In practice, this means developing an awareness of our own limitations and biases, actively seeking feedback, and being willing to adjust our behavior in the pursuit of harmony. Whether dealing with a challenging coworker or a tense family dynamic, a humble and introspective approach can open the door to understanding and resolution. The emphasis on conscientiousness and the practical application of virtue ethics calls us to be diligent and careful in our moral lives, striving to embody virtues such as honesty, integrity, and compassion in every action. At work, this might involve going the extra mile to support a team member or speaking up against unfair practices. At home, it could mean taking the time to listen actively to a partner or child, even when we're tired or preoccupied. Confucianism values education not just in the academic sense, but as a means of moral development and social harmony. By embracing a lifelong journey of learning, both in personal and professional contexts, we open ourselves to new perspectives and opportunities for growth, enriching our relationships in the process. The distinction between intellectual and practical virtues reminds us that knowledge alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by action. Understanding the theory behind effective communication is useful, but it's the practice of active listening, empathy, and open dialogue that truly strengthens relationships. In navigating the complexities of modern relationships, Confucian philosophy offers timeless wisdom that resonates with our innate desire for connection and harmony. By integrating these ancient principles into our daily lives, we can forge deeper, more meaningful relationships at home and work, creating a ripple effect of positivity that extends beyond our immediate circles. As we walk the path of Li, let us remember that every step taken with intention and care is a step toward a more harmonious world. In the heart of ancient China, amidst the rolling hills and flowing rivers, Confucian philosophy flourished, offering a path to a life of integrity and balance. It is a tale that, though centuries old, speaks volumes to the modern soul searching for meaning in a world fraught with complexities. This story, inspired by the wisdom of Confucius and the storytelling prowess akin to a leaf shafak, aims to weave a narrative that guides us through the intricacies of living a virtuous life. Our protagonist, Li Wei, a humble scholar in the bustling city of Xi'an, finds himself at a crossroads, torn between the pursuit of personal ambition and the commitment to societal harmony. Li Wei's journey, marked by moments of introspection and enlightenment, serves as a canvas on which the rich tapestry of Confucian philosophy is elegantly unfurled. The diversity of love, as recognized by Confucian tradition, plays a pivotal role in Li Wei's interactions with his family, friends, and community. It's a love that transcends mere emotion, encompassing a deep sense of duty, respect, and compassion. Li Wei's story exemplifies how this multifaceted love can guide one's actions, influencing relationships and fostering a sense of belonging and harmony. Moral intuition and Li as life-generating activity emerge as central themes as Li Wei navigates life's challenges. He learns to trust his moral intuition, allowing it to illuminate the path of righteousness amidst the shadows of doubt and moral ambiguity. The concept of Li, not just as a set of rituals but as a life-generating activity, becomes a source of inspiration for Li Wei. It teaches him that every action, when performed with intention and virtue, contributes to the creation of a good life. Li Wei's journey is also a testament to the virtues of moral humility and conscientiousness. He encounters situations where his beliefs are challenged, and he must confront his own limitations. Through these experiences, Li Wei realizes the importance of humility in moral development and the strength that lies in being conscientious, diligently reflecting upon and refining his actions. The practical application of virtue ethics in daily life and the educational aspects of Confucian thought are vividly depicted through Li Wei's endeavors to apply these principles in his own life. Whether in his professional duties or in his role within the community, Li Wei strives to embody virtue ethics, demonstrating how these ancient principles can address contemporary issues. Li Wei's story also explores the tension between intellectual versus practical virtues and the balance between generalism and particularism in morality. He learns that true wisdom lies in harmonizing intellectual knowledge with practical action, and that moral decisions often require navigating the delicate balance between overarching principles and the specifics of a situation. As Li Wei's tale unfolds, the narrative skillfully integrates real-life samples and the skillful deployment of idioms, enriching the story with depth and relatability. Phrases like, "crossing the river by feeling the stones," and "a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step," are woven through the narrative, offering insights into the practical application of Confucian wisdom in the journey of life. In the end, the Confucian way, building a life of integrity and balance, is not just Li Wei's story, but a reflection of our own quest for a meaningful life. It reminds us that the path to integrity and balance is paved with love, humility, and conscientiousness, guided by the timeless wisdom of Confucian philosophy. Through Li Wei's journey, we are invited to contemplate the virtues that define our lives and the legacy we wish to leave behind, making this ancient wisdom profoundly relevant in our modern world. In a world that often seems to be spinning faster than we can keep up, it's easy to feel lost amid the chaos of modern life. Yet, within the ancient teachings of Confucianism, we may find timeless principles that can help us navigate the complexities of the 21st century. This exploration seeks to bridge centuries-old philosophy with today's challenges, offering a guide for those looking to lead a balanced, ethical, and fulfilling life. #Unearthing Confucian Wisdom. Confucianism, a philosophy founded by Confucius over 2 millennia ago, emphasizes moral integrity, respect for relationships, and social harmony. Its relevance today lies not in strict adherence to ritual, but in the application of its core values to contemporary dilemmas. The diversity of love in a fragmented world. In today's global village, the Confucian recognition of different forms and expressions of love can teach us to appreciate the rich tapestry of human relationships. From familial bonds to friendships and beyond, understanding and respecting various forms of love can help mend the divides that fragment our world. Moral intuition in the age of information. With an endless stream of information at our fingertips, discerning right from wrong has never been more challenging. Here, the Confucian value of moral intuition comes to the fore, reminding us of the importance of inner reflection in understanding and practicing morality amidst the noise. #Li as a life-generating activity. In an era where the pursuit of personal gain often overshadows collective well-being, the concept of Li proposes a revitalizing perspective. Viewing life-generating activities as central to our existence encourages us to engage in actions that contribute to the common good, fostering a sense of purpose and belonging. #Moral humility in public discourse. The cacophony of the digital age often rewards the loudest voices, regardless of their wisdom or compassion. Confucian moral humility calls for a different approach, advocating for modesty and self-awareness. In practicing this virtue, we can transform public discourse into a more respectful and enlightening exchange. Conscientiousness in daily living. Living conscientiously, being diligent and careful in our moral life, may seem daunting amid life's pressures. Yet, it is precisely in the minutiae of daily living that Confucianism finds its strength, encouraging us to act with integrity, even when no one is watching. Virtue ethics in practice. The practical application of virtue ethics, a cornerstone of Confucian thought, insists on living out virtues in a practical manner. This approach challenges us to embody qualities like kindness, justice, and wisdom, not as abstract ideals, but as actions reflected in our everyday choices. The role of education. Confucianism places a significant emphasis on education, not merely for career advancement, but as essential for moral development and social harmony. In this light, lifelong learning becomes a journey not just of intellectual growth but of character building. Balancing intellectual and practical virtues. The distinction between intellectual and practical virtues in Confucian philosophy highlights the importance of a balanced life. Cultivating both thought and action, wisdom and diligence, enriches our lives and ensures that our contributions to the world are both meaningful and grounded. Ethics, ontology, and the modern world. Finally, the Confucian integration of ethics and ontology, reflection on the nature of being and the cultivation of virtue, offers a profound framework for understanding our place in the universe. In recognizing our interconnectedness, we find compelling reasons to act ethically, not just for personal gain but for the well-being of the global community. Conclusion. Applying Confucian principles to 21st century challenges offers a path to navigating life with grace, purpose, and a sense of interconnectedness. In embracing these ancient teachings, we find not outdated precepts but a living philosophy that can guide us in creating a more harmonious and fulfilling world. In the bustling modern world, where stress seems as ubiquitous as the air we breathe, an ancient philosophy quietly offers a blueprint for harmony and well-being. Confucianism, a tradition rooted deep in the heart of Chinese culture, extends beyond mere philosophy. It is a guide to living well, marrying ethics with a holistic approach to health that resonates with contemporary quests for balance and wellness. At the core of Confucian thought is the concept of Li, traditionally translated as ritual or propriety. However, to view Li merely as a set of rituals is to miss its profound implications for holistic health. Li is a life-generating activity, a dynamic process that nurtures harmony within the individual and in their interactions with the world. In the practice of Li, every action, from the way one eats to how one greets another, becomes an act of mindfulness and care, an expression of love that is both personal and universal. This brings us to the diversity of love in Confucianism. Unlike the often singular Western notion of romantic love, Confucian love is multifaceted, recognizing various forms and expressions of love as essential to social harmony and personal well-being. This diversity underscores the importance of relationships in Confucian thought, where the well-being of the individual is inseparable from the health of their relationships. Moreover, Confucianism champions moral intuition and humility. It suggests that at the heart of well-being is a moral life, guided not by rigid dogma but by an intuitive understanding of what is right and good, coupled with a humble acknowledgement of one's place in the larger web of life. This moral intuition extends to conscientiousness, a diligent care for one's actions and their impacts, both immediate and far-reaching. But how does one cultivate such virtues in the rush of modern life? Confucianism holds education in high esteem, not merely the academic or intellectual sort, but the education of character. It advocates for a daily living out of virtues in practical, actionable ways, bridging the gap between intellectual understanding and real-world application. In integrating Confucian principles into modern wellness practices, one might begin by embracing moral humility and conscientiousness in daily decisions, recognizing the ripple effects of our actions on our health and the health of our communities. The practice of Li could transform our routines into mindful rituals, turning the mundane into the sacred and fostering a deep sense of presence and connection. The narrative fabric of our lives, according to Confucianism, is woven from threads of varied and rich relationships, each requiring a distinct expression of love and care. This relational approach to well-being encourages a holistic view, where physical health is inseparable from emotional, social, and moral health. In essence, Confucianism offers ancient paths to modern wellness, inviting us to find balance and harmony not through grand gestures, but through the careful, conscientious practice of everyday virtues. It teaches us that well-being is not a solitary pursuit but a communal symphony, played out in the intricate dance of relationships, guided by the timeless virtues of love, humility, and care. In a world yearning for wellness, the ancient wisdom of Confucianism lights the way, reminding us that the path to health and harmony lies in the beauty of our everyday actions and the depth of our connections.